DLS Wave back again, 2025. Yesterday, 2025, January
24.
7th.
7th.
Happy New Year, by the way.
You've been in China for a long time. You don't know what this means. So, guys out there, a little bit of Chinese lesson. This is number 7, right? It looks like what, a duck? Like the beak of a duck? It's 7. So 7th of January 2025, John Dramani Mahama inaugurated into office. Many world leaders showed up, including your favorite,
Paul Kagame, Traore.
That's my favorite.
No. Then I'll take the Traore. I'll take Traore.
Oh wait, no, that's interesting though. Traore over Kagame.
Yeah,
Traore over Kagame.
I'll go with Kagame.
Both are same, but I'll put them on the same pedestal.
Yeah.
They're not same like age.
They're fighting for the same.
They are fighting for the same
that makes
goal.
sense.
So,
All right,
right.
cool. So both were present at the inauguration, and it was pretty good. We might say, right? What do you think?
I just
In
like the
general,
whole.
what do you think? You liked it?
I just like the whole. Ghana, we're
good at organizing things.
We're extremely good. Extremely good.
Yeah,
Any downsides? Like, did you see anything you could be like, not great?
The thing
This
is,
sucked.
no downside. The organization, everything was on point. But I feel we need a bigger place for such event.
No, I think the Independence Square is enough. But this year, usually the entourage would be in the stands, but this time they wanted the dignitaries to be closer, so they made an inner quadrangle, so it made it smaller, which I thought kind of made sense. But then the noise outside, like people, the general public, were too noisy. I don't know if it affected the
occasion
quadrangle itself, but the external part was a bit haphazard.
Yeah.
But on the whole, I think it was nice. I mean, the decoration, it was nice. And for me, the fact that many about 26 leaders and their and some representatives,
Quite renowned.
Yeah, it was quite impressive that they responded.
Personally, I think it was great as well. But my only part, I think you had the same is it
The
Discovery or whatever? Yeah, I think that it was a bit too like, because I've seen many what do you call that walk? God of Honor. Yeah, I think I've seen many presidents doing. Usually, it's kind of quiet, right? Because you want to hear the band, the band playing, and you want to take it in, right? It's kind of like a very subtle, respectful moment. So it's like you got to be quiet so the person can do his work, and then we see that display. But it was a bit too loud in the background. I did not really like that part.
I think it's where they set it out. They set it out where the general public was, so it was too noisy.
And my reason why I'm saying we need a bigger place, every 4 years, like the numbers grow. The numbers grow. I think so. The numbers grow. People want to,
a bigger spot.
And a lot of people travel in.
I think it's actually our Independence Square is one of the biggest in the world statistically. It's even bigger than Tiananmen Square. So I think maybe just needs a redesign. Yeah, with more
but I think
stands.
just don't kind of like let all the crowd in. I think there's a population control.
Yeah, I think after some
take
time
some
they
number
stop
of
people
here.
from
Once
coming.
it gets too packed, then they allow people to come in. So for me, I think it was great. It was great, but I think the highlights of it all was people got really like surprised, shocked, mesmerized when Traore was kind of like announced, and everybody was like, yay. I mean, why that reaction from the Ghanaian populace about Traore?
That is what you want to see as Africans.
Yeah, I get that part. But why Traore specifically?
Because they can see, especially the youth, they can see a young man trying to change his country, right? And I would have even run after him. You understand? Because the fact that you see some African leaders trying to pull the bull by the horn and do stuff the right way that we all yearn for. That is why he gets that kind of love, because man, we've been taking advantage.
And also when you remember when he did the coup, ECOWAS kind of like gave him an ultimatum, and they actually put embargoes on them, but they've still come out of it. And for him to be, he's under 40. For him to be able to handle it, it's already a year or 2 years going. And also the way he carries himself, he's never in a suit. He's a military captain. He came as a military man, and he stays military. Even when he came in an Air Force plane with his bodyguards. And I found it fascinating when he still had his pistol, because normally when you go for such functions, no matter who you are, you can be in your military uniform, but you don't have a weapon. But he had his weapon on his side, and it's just the usefulness. People just gravitate. It's just like Rollins, right? People gravitated towards him because of the vim, the energy, staying true to himself.
And with the pistol thing you're talking about, that is the other side of Ghana, the hospitality. We know how to let people.
In most countries, they won't allow that.
We know how to let people fit in. Feel welcome. If we can, that kind of vibe, if it can just across the African continent, will be a very beautiful.
But I'll take it from a different angle. Do you really think it's just because of our hospitality, or is it somewhat, if you look at the guy and what he's doing, right? If you want him at your inauguration or whatever it may be, do you think if he says this is part of my military what do you call it?
Routine
outfit, attire, or what is the word I'm looking for?
Uniform.
Okay. If it's part of my military regalia, and I cannot just give up my gun. Do you think it's something that he could have also said and we'd be like, okay, sure, no problem?
I think maybe I don't know about that, but maybe there are some exceptions for heads of state. Maybe as a head of state, maybe his bodyguards cannot take their guns in, but he, as a president, he could. And I also think it's just a trust thing, right? I think that after the election, John Mahama actually went to Burkina to meet him because he wanted to. He has this problem with Akufo-Addo, so he wanted to reestablish the relations, and I think that's why he came actually. If he hadn't taken that move, I don't think he would have come. Because it's likely that they might even want to overthrow him whilst he's out of the country. So I think that move Mahama made was very important, and he decided to come to support. But I think that them allowing him to have that, I think it's like you said, our hospitality and the trust, because we never had any problem like that in Ghana. Until something happens, then they start. But
I'll have to check that footage again, because I remember there was this Russia-Africa summit, and he was there as well. Trier was there, but I forgot if he had his gun.
I don't remember he had. It was just his uniform
or not. I'm not sure. I would have to check that. But then again, it could be a thing of trust and respect, right? But this kind of it's like an interesting scene, because I'm thinking in my head, do you think Mahama would have gotten the same reception if, let's say, Trier was being inaugurated in Burkina Faso and Mahama showed up? Would he get the same reception?
It is hard to say, because you cannot tell what or how which country is it from? The Burkinabes see Mahama. We don't know the kind of link up they have. But with this kind of reception, I think if Mahama goes there, not that they will be yelling like the way we were, but he would be welcome. I think so.
I think that Burkina Faso, we have very strong relations in terms of there are a lot of Burkinabes in Ghana, and Ghanaians in Burkina as well, from the northern part, and also because they use our port a lot, they have a lot of respect for us, and generally the whole of Africa respects Ghana, just because of Kwame Nkrumah and the fact that we're the first to gain independence. And I think that's also the reason why many of them came, because they always see us as the pace set, a big brother, something like that. So they usually feel like, okay, when Ghana is doing something, we have to be there because we're the trailblazers. So I think, he might get support based on these factors that I just mentioned, but not Mahama per se.
Yeah, I think welcoming is one thing, right? And support or whatever is just one other thing. But I feel like he's not going to get the same reception.
Yes, it's likely.
I mean, the reason being, I'll tell you why. The reason being, Traore's done something really exceptional. Nobody expected it. And people thought it was going to flop, by the wayside, just like, all these cool dudes, right? People who kind of usually take power through cool, they don't really kind of do well in the end, but he's kind of showing people he's for real, and we can actually do it, and he is doing it. You know what I mean? He's not changing. He's not going back on his words, right? You can tell he's using the same military car he was using before coming in.
Yeah.
He's not spending unnecessarily. So I think it's not going to be the same thing, right? So just like when we talk about our favorite guy, right, Lee Kuan Yew, right?
Yes.
Why do you think we all look up to this guy so much? Whenever we see his videos, we go crazy.
He did the impossible.
Exactly. I feel like we all naturally gravitate towards people like that.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, let's go back to John Dramani Mahama.
Yeah.
What do you think is ahead of this guy? I mean, he's got a huge task. So then, inauguration, everything aside, let's come back to reality.
The mountain in front of him is way higher than
insurmountable.
I'm telling you, because Ghanaians, our expectations can be like even a teacup. Mahama name will be mentioned. You see, and that is the level of expectation.
Yeah,
I want him to do well, right? Because for the betterment of the country. But at the same time, I look at what we've been through for the past 8 years, a whole lot of mismanagement here and there. Figures are all over the place, you can see. The 4 years that he has, I don't think he will be able to there'll be some few impacts here and there, right? I mean, good ones. But I don't think the expectations of people, he'll be able to meet those expectations.
Why is that?
Because of mismanagement of the past government. And then also, listen, the truth is, worldwide, things are not moving like, let's say, 5-6 years ago. We have to face fact.
Yeah.
So those are the challenges it comes with internationally, globally already. Then we have the country called Ghana.
Yeah.
Our own issues. A lot, from the doom saw, from no better street lights, poor roads, a whole lot. Unemployment, a whole lot.
Got it.
So he has a lot.
What do you think?
I think, for me, I think that he should focus the early part of his reign presidency to creating opportunities and jobs. Then he will have the peace of mind to do whatever little development he wants to do. Because if they don't focus on creating, because once you get people working, you get people's attention onto their own lives, and then you can have the freedom to do development projects. But if they don't do that first, and they try to start doing things that are not really related to making people comfortable, then they will have opposition right from the beginning to the end. And that's very distracting. So if I were close, my best advice would be focus on creating jobs. This is a 24-hour economy. Whichever way you want to implement it, make sure that even if it doesn't work 100%, make sure at least it's running 50%. And the backbone of which should be people having jobs to do. Then you take off that burden of people complaining and blaming you and all that off your shoulders. Then whatever little development you can do in terms of infrastructure, this and that, you can do that. But I think his priority should be on jobs, because that's the first main thing that people are crying for.
I've received a document, right? The plan, they have a plan, right? And so far, what I've read, it's quite impressive. But if they can get it done, and this is where leadership always comes in. The people you put in those positions to get the job done.
Right. But which part specifically did you like about that document?
Across
we talk about jobs. He's
health,
jobs.
Okay, so let me just give you a gist of it. When it comes to like health, right, or even agriculture, right, they have a huge plan for agriculture, where they want to open up a little bit. And then health, they want to go back. You see, we have hospitals that, like, let's say you go to the northern side, right? There are certain hospitals or clinics, let me put it that way, they will do uplifts, add stuff to it, make sure with our nurses and stuff, keep spread.
So people don't have to travel to other places.
You have something going on. Later, I'll let you guys go through, but I'm saying the plan they have, if they want to, another thing, street lights is on their plan, right? So if they get those things done with the document I have and I've read, if they get those things done in the next 2-3 years, then the country would head somewhere.
Start to be in the right direction.
Yeah.
Right. I just feel like he's had time to do his homework, and now he knows because he has said it on several platforms, and even yesterday he said it again, that the opportunity given to them is not for them to come and really enjoy, it's for them to come and work. And at his age, he has kids who are younger than us, and so he knows that if he messes up, the kid's life is going to be ruined forever. So I don't think, and now honestly, John Mahama doesn't need money. Even if it's not his own money. I mean, as a statesman, he gets paid, even if he's not president. And some bills get taken care of. His brother is one of the wealthiest in Ghana. He himself is into farming and all that. So when you talk about money, the guy doesn't really need money. So I think now what his focus would be to make an impact, because now he knows. And with all the complaints that went on, if you come and you mess up again, then Ghana will say, "Ah, bro." Then you're really a bro. So I think that I'm having the feeling that, besides all the talk, I feel like he'll do his best. It might not be to our satisfaction, but I think I
think he has no other option. He has no other option than to leave a legacy, because you've been a president before, right? So now, whatever you have to do better than
times 10.
Times 10 what you did, because the last time you were president, people were not impressed. You understand? So now the onus lies on him to do way better. And if you list our presidents, right? People who have actually led the country. You take Nkrumah, and the gap is huge. We need somebody that we can say, oh, he got a bit closer. Right? Okay, after Nkrumah, maybe you can mention maybe Kufuor, but not even to the scale of, not even close. You understand? And I think if Mahama stay focused, appoints the right people, call them to book when needs be, they will achieve something.
Let me just throw this one in. I think if I look back to Mahama's tenure, I don't remember everything, but I can remember a few things that when he sets his mind to do something, he does it really well. He's the kind of person. If he's not doing it, he's not doing it. But if you look at the University of Ghana Medical Center, the Kotoka Airport, how do you call it? The regional rich hospital. When he says his mind, KJT Kotokraba Market, when he says his mind to something, he actually does it. He finishes it. But if you look at MPP, they did some things, left some things halfway. That's one thing I trust about him. If he's not doing it, he's not doing it. But if he's doing something, he makes sure it is done before his tenure. So, I
have this conundrum in my head, like mentally I'm kind of fighting with. And the question is, I mean, we all saw the inauguration, right? Great. I mean, it was awesome. We liked it. The question, though, is how much was spent on this inauguration, right? I know people are going to be like, oh, why are you asking about it? It's not, it's not a big deal. It's something that is not like, propel the country,
a few dollars.
Let's just leave it there. A few dollars.
A few dollars.
Democracy in the right way. But the question, though, is like a few days ago or a week ago, not too sure about the timeline, the fire, right, gutted the Cantonmental market. And there's a lot of like people who literally lost their livelihoods. So for this inauguration to have happened, wouldn't have been better for them to channel these funds to help these people out?
The Cantonmental thing is a whole topic.
No, we're not talking about the topic. We talk about the inauguration itself. Money that went into, because hold on. Because if he's saying that he needs to work, it's upon him to, the onus is upon him, right? To do what is necessary and meet people's expectations. But the first thing you have to consider is what? The people. That's the first thing. So there are people hurting, people who've lost their livelihoods, but then he's spending, not him, the state. He's spending that much money for the inauguration. So I'm just saying.
With the inauguration, it has to happen anyways. Like you said, how much money, we don't know, a few dollars in there. But listen, we also don't need to set certain precedents. Where we feel like, okay, then they should not be buying the four new cars and new vehicles.
Everybody says
you understand? Because look at the country, look at the state of the country. It's in bad shape, right? So every car you buy, right, you can tie a road, let's say 100 meters with that kind of money. So then it is hard to say, okay, we should not do it, we should donate the money to them. No, we shouldn't.
But isn't that what makes like a great leader? sacrificing, some of these things.
These things need to be done, but the thing is, it should be done. But let's say if they are spending, let's say 100,000, and you think that it is too expensive, then you can bid it down a little bit and say, okay, let's spend 50,000 and just get it done and get it. But actually, he's not the one, or they are not the organizing it. It is the old government that is organizing it. So
I think it's from the state. I don't know if it's from the old.
But the state,
like the state.
Okay, it's from the state. Yeah.
So my thing that I'm saying, it's just like, remember, like Troy, right? This is what I'm saying, that people loved him in Ghana when he showed up, because when he became the leader or whatever, he did not even get himself a new car. He bought Jeeps and SUVs for people like
doctors and people like that,
service personnel, and he did not get anything. So isn't that what makes a true leader, though? Selflessness.
I think it.
So so the spotlight being shined on this inauguration could have been shined on the victims of the fire.
I think the status of Ghana as a country, we can do both simultaneously.
Yeah.
And it won't hurt us in any way. The only place where it's annoying is where I didn't see any like top leader. Only Mahama was there. Akufo-Addo wasn't there. Mahama wasn't there. These are the two people who should actually
visit the
yes. Just to commiserate with them, you just show your face or something, because even just by going, because actually the timing of the fire too, because we're in a transition period. Akufo-Addo had 5 days to leave. And he was still president. Mahama wasn't president yet. So where do you place it? Because Akufo-Addo, even if he starts something, he can't finish. If he takes money to go and do something, they'll be like, hey, you're leaving and you're going to find ways to steal money. And Mahama too had no power because you're not president. Yeah. So if you go there, it's out of your own volition. Yeah. So I think the timing was, so let's see.
I understand that probably the whole thing was lined up, was scheduled, was planned for before the fire probably even happened. Right?
Yeah.
But I still feel like there should have been, there should be more spotlight on this fire thing, because this inauguration thing is kind of overshadowing that. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see what's going to happen.
Because it's like a country going through a hard time, it could have been like an earthquake, like people dying, right? There are people losing their livelihoods, and it's kind of taking the shine from that. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
you feel like it should be done, right? Inauguration should happen.
It should happen.
I'm not saying it should not happen, but it could have done a little bit smaller, privately.
Nah. Yeah, it's also possible, but the speech,
So do you specifically, Mr. Gamanche, do you think it was it was a cool thing? Was it just being
it's just a banter,
just not for political points, or just
sarcasm or something?
No, it's just sarcasm,
or it is a little bit of shade,
but it also tells you how close they are. And secondly, it's a sign for all of us that follows different political parties to know that politics is politics. At the end of the day, we are Ghanaians in general, and most of these politicians, they are friends, they are siblings, they are schoolmates and stuff. So it ends there. He won. Now he's the president. Adodi is leaving office. Hey, Ado, take your ball.
Yeah, so that was him just being president.
Yeah, it's just being.
I thought it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
He acknowledged the two living presidents, and he talked about how he and Akufo-Addo started in Parliament and described his round glasses that everybody knows, and it was nice. And I think for me, the other most important part was when he talked about Bawumia, because he said in front of the whole world how his early concession helped to calm things down. And I think that was it was very important that he drove that message, because some countries don't have it that easy. So for Ghana to consistently be able to have opponents concede defeats, and in this case even before the EC, that was really impressive. So I thought that he acknowledged them really, really nicely.
Was it from the bottom of his heart? It was just being president.
It looked sincere.
I think so. It looks sincere, extremely sincere. But they are colleagues anyways. They've been in that
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what makes it really silly when actually, like, you know, the people on the ground start fighting. Like,
yes.
you know,
That's what politicians should do to you.
right? It's like, those are the top actually, like you said, like buddies. So
my guy was there.
Even if it's a beef, it's just political.
Yeah, my guy was there.
Who was your guy?
Cheddar was there.
Oh, yeah, dressed in his military.
Our next president. Yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, so before we go, we're going to do something special today. It's like, thank you guys so much. We've crossed the 1,000 benchmark. And we want to say thank you to Let Love Lead 5446. He's been very, very active in the comment section, and we do love to hear your thoughts. Secondly, we have Mensa. MNSAH681. We do also appreciate you so much because it's all about the comments, right? We say what we think, you tell us what you think as well, and then, you know, we meet each other in the middle. That's how democracy is. That's how democracy is.
It's supposed to be.
Seasons.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you guys so much, and we do really appreciate you. So if you guys have also any topics you want us to kind of, like, you know, talk about or give our opinions on, we would love to know in the comment section. Do not forget, you leave comment, we're gonna give you a shout out. So do not forget to do that. We'll see you on the next episode.
You don't say something? What do you have to say to Adodi?
Well, I think I would say farewell.
Fare thee well.
Well, I mean, we all blame him for the economic hardships, but if you look back, it's not like everything was bad about him. I mean, he did some roads, some projects. COVID time, the government held its own, and there were a few development projects here and there. So yeah, at least in my village, they did the roads. So yeah, kudos.
The thing is, how do you know if somebody's bad? Because you compare it to the previous government, right? And we can talk literally about the city. When the fundamentals are weak,
the cockroaches will get you.
And now look at the exchange rate.
Well, he served, so he deserves us.
Of course,
Adodi,
he deserves the respect and he deserves the rest.
All the best.
He's been in politics for a very long time. So congrats to John Mahama and his team. We hope he can deliver on his promises. I mean, he's not a magician, but we hope he does. So on the next episode, deal us out.
Peace.